thoughts from the tread yesterday were this. When two things are true, the determining factor has to be you, right? But what does that mean? It means that while it can be true that my body was aching and I didn't feel like coming here yesterday, it is, and maybe my body needs rest. It's also true that I promised myself I was going to stick to this, and consistency is key. And sometimes leaning into discomfort and making a adjustment is what you need instead of quitting and saying, "Oh, I just need a break today," right? And so, since both things were true, it was up to me to make an adjustment. So, what did I do? Instead of doing the treadmill because my knees were aching um, in the rower, I did the elliptical in the rower so my knees could just remain a little bit more stable. But I didn't quit, I just made an adjustment. And how does that relate to our lives as leaders? Where oftentimes when I'm coaching women, especially around gender bias or reaching their next level of leadership, they'll say, well, if I speak up, I'm too aggressive, and yet if I don't, tout my accomplishments, then no one knows and I get overlooked. Okay, yes, both are true. Both could be true depending on the type of, organization that you're a part of. And yet you know that if you want to get to the next level of leadership, that you have to brag on yourself, right? So it's all about making an adjustment on how you present the information. That might look like getting a mentor and asking their opinion. That might look like attending more networking events and, connecting with people who have been in that position before. If you think I don't have any time for that, okay, that might also be true. Well, that might just look like shooting an email to someone who was in the role prior, or shooting an email to the leader of that new department, or leader of that of your department if it's within your department, to have coffee, to have a conversation. And then they might be like, well, I'm not comfortable doing that. Okay, we can't not do all the things. So at some point you have to pick a struggle and say, I'm going to make a bold and courageous choice to go after what I want. And so these are the steps that I can take, right? You got to make an adjustment. So just like I did the elliptical instead of the treadmill, figuring out the one thing that you can do, figuring out the one next thing that you can do instead of the 80 million things that you cannot do, helps you remain in control, helps you not feel burned out, helps you remain hopeful that what you want is actually possible. And you take the one step, then you take another, then you take another, and then you're towards your goal, right? How do you build a wall? One brick at a time. We don't just throw that thing up. So make adjustments along the way and stick to your dreams. It'll ensure that you are happier, more engaged, and more resilient at work, at home, and beyond. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Peace, love, and most importantly, play.